Hey guys, what's up? Amy Pigeon here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel, and welcome back if you've been here before. So today I have a St. Patrick's Day full face tutorial. I was looking through LJ's stuff, who I happen to be collaborating with on Instagram. Again, I forget if we're doing the YouTube collab. I believe we are, so I will be linking her channel down below. You'll see all of her cool St. Patty's Day stuff she's doing, whether it's a direct collab with me or not. Go check it out. Follow her, subscribe, leave her lots of love and comments, let her know I sent you. I was creeping through her stuff, got some inspiration, and then realized as I was about 95% of the way through this look that I basically copied a look she did last year. Bleh. Anyways, I'm sure I would have used all different products. It's my interpretation of her look by accident, I swear. I didn't mean to do pretty much the exact same thing. I'm just not creative at 1 in the morning when I'm filming makeup looks, apparently. Anyways, yeah, go check her out. She's an amazing artist. And if you like this video, you know the drill. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. And let me know what future tutorials you want to see in the comment box below. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get into this half-cut crease St. Patty's Day makeup look.
Alrighty, so starting with the MAC Art Library palette in its designer, I'm going to go in with this beautiful lime green shade here in my MAC 217 brush, and we're going to build up the intensity of that as our transition shade, starting in our crease and windshield wiper motions, pulling it up and feathering it out towards the brow bone where we want it to be lighter, and then just continuing to go in and build that color intensity to be as bright and saturated as we'd like. Now with the same brush, I'm going in with this Kelly Green Power Pigment from Makeup Geek, and we're going to apply that pretty much the same way in the crease, but keeping it a little bit lower, not bringing it as far up towards the brow bone as we did. Again, doing windshield wiper motions and also winging out the edges a little bit. I also like to go in and add more and more color to build up most of the color intensity to be in that outer corner and a little bit less intense on the inner corner. I'm going to go in with my Modern Twist Casual Pencil from MAC in the color Squid to create a nice black base here in the outer corner of the eye, in that outer V shape. And then with the pencil brush, I'm going to smudge the crap out of that on all of the edges. The edge on your lid, the edge going into the crease, and the edge where our wing will later be. And then I'm going to go back in with that Kelly Green Power Pigment and that same MAC 217 brush and start layering that on top of the black so we can try and smudge out, I guess, those edges to be less harsh and to have that nice green gradient effect. And once you've done building up that color to get it as blended as you possibly can, we're going to go in with a black eyeshadow. So I'm using Carbon from that Its Designer MAC Art Library palette, and I'm just going to bring a little bit of that in towards the crease, further in towards the inner corner of my eye, because I find it just stops a little too bluntly where it's at right now. I'm also going to feather a little bit more of that out onto the edges of where we placed that black pencil liner that we smudged out to help it blend into the green even more seamlessly. So now I'm going in with my concealer. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer to cut the crease. I would probably prefer to use the MAC Pro Longwear for this, because I did find that my eyeshadow started creasing after I did this. So, you know, whatever concealer you find works that doesn't crease, go for that. And we're just going to cut the inner half of the crease and then kind of tap out along the edges towards the black where we want the concealer to blend into and be more of a softer gradient with the shadow rather than a harsh start and stop. Now I'm going in with this gorgeous Makeup Geek duochrome pigment called Sugar Rush and a flat shader brush, and we're just going to shade. Sounded like I was about to say shit. We're just going to fill in that entire area where we had cut the crease, packing it on there and lightly feathering it out onto the black. And then I'm going back in with my MAC 217 brush and that Kelly Green Power Pigment from Makeup Geek, and we're going to blur the edges between the black and that Sugar Rush pigment with that green to just bring back more green into that lid shade, so it's not so much like a white sugary blue teal, and we got more green going on. Now I'm going in with a MAC Liquid Lash Liner called Misty Me, and we're just going to do a thin line where we've cut that crease, trying to taper the edges on the inner corner and the outer corner. And now I'm going in with my MAC brush stroke liner in brush black, and we're just going to do a dramatic winged liner as I always do. Now on to the lashes. So I'm just going to do a couple of quick coats of In Extreme Dimension mascara from MAC. It's waterproof, which is highly encouraged for a night out of drinking. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to line my waterline with MAC's fascinating kohl pencil to just bring in that white color of the Irish flag. This also helps open your eyes up and brighten them a little bit. Black would be really sexy for this look too though, because it's so colorful, it helps ground it. And now I'm going in with my New Bounce Dragonly Mini Falsies in my House of Lashes Blue, and then my MAC Face and Body Foundation in the shade C1, and we're going to work that in nice and good into the whole face. The more you kind of work this in, the more coverage you get. So I really like to go over the same spots over and over and build a little bit more coverage since it is such a lightweight and dewy foundation. Now I'm going to do a cream contour using my YSL 24 Hour All Day foundation sticks. Excuse me, I'm tired. Anyways, I like to mix two colors together, this more sandy one and one that's way too warm for me to, kind of attempt to get the right color, because these are just what I have and neither one is the right one for me. I like to do along my jawline to make it a little bit more defined, right underneath the cheekbones to make your cheekbones pop a little bit more, or to make them look more sunken in underneath the bone, which is thus going to make your cheekbone pop more. Along the top of my forehead to bring some warmth there and to make it look a little bit smaller. I like to do along the sides of my nose to make it look super snatched, and my nostrils to make my whole nose look less wide. Sorry you guys, I've been tired. Not that I have a wide nose, but Anyways, and then in the low parts of my Cupid's bow and just under my lip to make my lip look fuller. Now I'm going back in with that Born This Way Too Faced concealer. I used to cut the crease, and I'm going to highlight under my eyes, just under where I contoured, the center of my forehead, down the very center of my nose, on the highest points of my Cupid's bow, and my chin. So basically all the parts we did not contour. This is again going to draw attention to the center of your nose. It's going to brighten under your eyes and also highlight your cheekbones in the process. So we're just going to go ahead and blend all of that in. I'm using the same Quo Artiste brush that I used for the contouring. Ideally you would have like a separate brush for highlighting and contouring, not using the same one, but I'm lazy with my tools when I'm doing my own makeup. So yeah, I blend out the heavy bits of that with the artist brush, but then under my eyes I like to use this dual fiber brush from MAC, and then pulling the what's left on the brush towards the center of my face along the contour to make that contour a little bit more defined, having the brightness sandwiched right beside it. So once that is all blended in and said and done, we're going to set all of it with the MAC Next to Nothing powder. I'm using the color Light Plus, I believe. And I'm going to pat quite a bit of that under my eyes, and then I brush it away so that I don't have a bunch of powder sitting on my face. And then I'm going to go in with a big fluffy duo fiber brush and start on the parts of my face that were highlighted and move upwards, blending that all out. So I'm just setting everything so I'm not sticky and wet when we're adding more color later. Now I'm going to go back in with that It's Designer Art Library palette from MAC and the beautiful flamboyant, I think it's called flamboyant? Oh, maybe it's not. Oh, I think it's called I Can't Afford This, that red shade, and do the lower lash line with that. And then I'm going in with this Makeup Geek Pure Orange Power Pigment just to deepen it a little closer to the lash line. And then to add more depth, we're going in with some black eyeshadow again from the It's Designer palette and adding that right up against the lash line. So now I've gone in with MAC's Matte Bronze Bronzer. We're going to bronze the apples of the cheeks, pulling it backwards towards the ear, just above the contour, and then along the side of the face to make this face look less round, along the top of the forehead, again to make the forehead look smaller, and then my nose, because that's where we usually get a little bit of sun-kissed tan, and on the chin as well. Now I'm going in the Sculpt Pro Shaping Powder from MAC, and I'm just going to contour even more, starting at the tops of my ears, going down towards the corner of my mouth, and swooshing up around the apples of my cheeks, just to emphasize roundness there, because I really like hearty apple of the cheek, because I don't have one. I'm going to contour my nose with powder, just using the slightest bit amount of that sculpt there, going along the edges. We're going to go underneath the tip of the nose to shorten the nose a bit, along the nostrils to make the nose look less wide, and then just above where you want the tip of the nose to be, so you're really creating like that cute little ball at the end of your nose. Then I'm going to do in the low parts of my cupid's bow and the ridges there, and underneath my lip to just emphasize a shadow there to look like I have a big huge pouty lip that's overhanging and creating a shadow. And then I'd like to really emphasize and define the apples of my cheeks even more by going in and just with a smaller brush contouring that area right there. So now I'm going in with this Starlit powder from Makeup Forever, and I'm going to highlight my cheekbones using a fan brush, making sure to blend that upwards and downwards so that we don't look like we have a complete streak on our face. And with whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to bring that above my eyebrow to just help lift the brows a little bit and make your eyes look a little bit more open. Oh god! Oh, here I go yawning again, so sorry guys. And then also with whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to add a little bit to my chin because I just feel like looking really glowy for this look. I'm also going to go in with a smaller definer brush, and I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eyes using that same Starlit powder, and then use the skinny edge of it to go right down the center of my nose, blend it out a little bit, and also on the tip of my nose to create this cute tiny little tip on my nose. I'm also going to use that small brush and run it across the top of my cupid's bow and the highest ridges of my cupid's bow, again to pull those parts out further and make my upper lip look super pouty. Now I'm going to sandwich between the highlighter on my cheeks and the contour with Floor Power blush from MAC. And then I'm going to finish off my eyes with some mascara on my lower lashes, 2 coats using Extended Play Data Black Mascara. And then to finish the entire look, I'm going in with Peachy Peter by Patrick Starr and MAC Cosmetics from the Holiday collection. I'm also going to add a little bit of lip liner because I thought this was too pale, so I'm using the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil to just add some definition.
Well, that's it for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this St. Paddy's Day makeup look as much as I had fun making it for you guys. You know the drill. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It helps me out a lot. And let me know what future tutorials you want to see in the comment box below. Until next time, take care, you guys.